Hey guys, this week's video is dedicated to the complete recovery of Masha Bas Bashem. This week's Torah portion, Parshat Yisro, we have the historic event of the Jewish nation receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai. And the Medrash explains why was Mount Sinai chosen for this historic occasion. It's because Mount Sinai was the smallest and the most humble of all mountains. Why is humility so important when receiving the Torah? Kabbalah explains that humility is synonymous with wisdom. In order for somebody to be wise, they have to be open and humble and understand that their perspective is not the only perspective. And they constantly search for deeper and higher explanations, deeper and higher knowledge. However much they know there's always more out there. There's always deeper. Every intellectual breakthrough has to come about when somebody says, I know so much about this thing, but there's something deeper out there. There might be another perspective. My perspective might be wrong, and there might be something else that is right. And constantly being open to learning. If that is true about knowledge in general, how much more so when it comes to divine knowledge, God's knowledge, the Torah. In order to really receive the Torah, we have to be humble. And we have to tell ourselves that as much as we know, as much as we see about the world around us, that's just our perspective. Then there's a godly perspective. As much as we have to be ready and open to having a total paradigm shift of the world around us. A radical shift. Taking our self-centered perspective on the world and looking at it from a spiritual perspective of the world. Being open that our perspective is only one and that there is other godly perspective out there. And that is why humility was so important for the Jewish nation in order to receive the Torah. And that's why God chose Moses to give the Torah to the Jewish people. It was through Moses, not because he was the smartest or the brightest or a great communicator. No, it was because Moses was the most humble man on the earth. He understood that as great as he was, that was just his perspective. And then there was God's perspective. And he was able to put his notions on the side in order to receive the Torah and open to it. Then you might ask, so then why give the Torah on a mountain at all? If humility is so key, why not give it on the earth or even better in a valley? Really prove the point of humility. Why give it on a mountain, even a small mountain? The answer is we must be humble, but not too humble. We must be a little bit of a mountain because extreme humility is dangerous. Extreme humility can lead someone, God forbid, to think that they're insignificant. I'm a nobody. I'm nothing. What? God doesn't care about me. What does God cares what I do? I'm a nobody. I'm just a tiny little speck of dust on this earth. Why would God care? Extreme humility can, God forbid, lead somebody to think that they're insignificant. In order to accept Torah, in order to live Torah, the Jewish perspective is you are sacred, you are holy, you are special in God's eyes. Every single person is special and has what to give. Otherwise, God wouldn't have put you on this earth. So with our humility, we must remember that yes, we must be open to a godly perspective, but you are not insignificant. We are still a mountain. We must be a mountain, but a small mountain. And I just want to close up by saying, bringing this with something that happened this week. Last week, we all watched what happened in Texas. And we must remember that as a Jewish nation, the world looks at us, the Jews, they're humble people. Don't let anybody tread on us. We're a mountain. We're a small mountain, but we're a mountain. We're humble, but we can't be too humble. Don't let people tread on us. We must stand up for ourselves and say, Am Yisrael Chai. This Shabbos, we're not going to let anybody scare us. We're not going to stay home from shul. We're not going to be scared. We're going to light the candles. We're going to make Kiddush, and we're going to celebrate Shabbat loud and proud because we are the Jewish nation. Shabbat Shalom.